of the saddest and strangest stories that we've heard out of this disaster, following that story, and she's joining us live with some new details about that. Erica?
We're starting to learn a lot more about what might have happened out here. Detectives are not able to locate his body. I have Captain Lance Vitter with the St. Tammany Parish Sheriff's Office here to give us a little more information. So Captain Vitter, first of all, thank you. I know your detectives have been out here all day. Tell me what they're telling.
There was no body, but they could see signs of, blood, that somebody was attacked.
Try and get back out here and do anything they can to locate the body or the...
What year is it?
So they came into the outway. It was Sunday, what a black day. By the Mary's hesitation, sounding heartbeats, intimidations. Annie, are you okay? So Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? So Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? Will you tell us that you're okay? The other side of the window, that he stuck you. I can see no Annie. They can read your body, and the plastics on the carpet. And then you ran into the bedroom. You were stuck down, it was shut too. Are you okay? So are you okay? Are you okay? You've been hit by, you've been struck by a smooth
ThousandTroops help.
Where? Oh shit.
This build has a couple ways to spec attributes, depending on what your skill level is with light sword and shield builds, the availability of heals, or the skill level of the enemy dex users. Every build utilizes the 150 intelligence threshold bonus of 15% increase to elemental damage, which of course maximizes blunderbuss damage due to fire. That said, the absolute glass cannon build is 250 strength, 150 int, 100 con. This build will immediately be able to one-hit people to the start of the game. You do need to play much more careful, and even with a pocket healer you can get exploded, but this build offers the highest probability of one-shotting targets of interest and stacking mortal empowerment. Since it's almost impossible to run that spec as a solo player, a much more viable full damage build is 200 strength, 150 int, 150 con. This one's my favorite. It'll be able to one-shot most light targets, and after a few mortal empowerment stacks, it will be an absolute beast. The 200 strength bonus of 10% increased damage on stunned or rooted enemies is perfect for one-tapping people after you land a shield rush, shield bash on them. The last build is totally viable and still applies massive blunderbuss damage, but it does limit the one-shot capability, and that's 150 strength, 150 int, 200 con. This is pretty good for a player who wants to follow the meatball around and play mostly like a mage and just pump your blunderbuss onto clumps. All three are very fun in their own way, so play what works for you or what's comfortable for you.
well,
For weapon trees, let's start with the sword, as there's least amount of commentary and it's pretty straightforward. We are playing a traditional sword schizo tree with Leaping Strike, Shield Bash, and Shield Rush. We're going to go down the Swordmaster tree for the leadership bonus. I like taking Concussive Bash, but you could opt out for another selection there. Another necessary pickup, and it will be no surprise to anyone who's played Sword and Board, is Cowardly Punishment. The upgrade on Leaping Strike is absolutely phenomenal, and it's a great addition to your damage output and your chasing abilities. For Blunderbuss, there's at least two ways I play this. First is the grenade loadout, which will keep you relevant in big comp fights if you just can't get to isolated targets yet. For this one, I take Net Shot, Shrapnel Blast, and of course, the Splitting Grenade. I go all the way down the containment for Unload, which helps pop squishies. I don't take On a Roll and instead opt for Apparatus, which is insanely strong, decaying slow. Of course, you do need some points in the Chaos Tree for the Grenade and for Blunderbuss's most OP perk, Last Chance. The second loadout is the Claw loadout. For this, I take Net Shot, Claw, and Shrapnel Blast. One look at this build should scream chase until dead. You have a lot of chasing abilities now. You can afford to take both On a Roll and Apparatus. Additionally, Claw offers a very nice upgrade in and out, which will restore 8 stamina every second for 10 seconds on top of your normal base stamina regeneration. This makes you quite hard to pin down and can be used offensively to catch somebody or defensively to pull yourself to an enemy in a safer spot. Gear is pretty easy for this build. First, let me just say, I know there's a lot of talk about how light loadout will be affected by upcoming patches, but a lot of this chatter has been speculative. We all know how the community can get. From my perspective, play to have fun, and right now in this moment, this build is still pretty fun. I will make the remark that Sword and Shield on light is truly in a terrible place competitively, but again, this can be really fun still. For armor perks, I'm running Resilient and Refreshing. Weapon perks, you're going to want to look for Empowering Leaping Strike, Exhaustive Net Shot, and Plague Splitting Grenade, if you're running the grenade tree of course. There's several named weapons that can slide right into this build pretty easy. Scorpio and Shadow's Edge for swords, and Cave Crawler for Blunderbuss. I will say for Blunderbuss, you really should try to get at least Flame Attunement, with something like Flame Attunement, Weapon Perk, and Enchanted probably being the best for this playstyle. Remember, your shield's just an extension of your sword, so stagger perks that your sword doesn't already have, like Keenly Jagged or Keenly Empowered. For Runeglass, run All Ignited. I like Malachites on both weapons, but Opals could probably work too. For armor, you're probably going to want some Emeralds, but you know your server best, so run what's appropriate. Heart Runes have a couple options. I like running Stone Form or Vines. Vines is an extra way to lock a target down, but I have seen some light Sword and Shield schizos that are very good with Detonate, basically becoming little missiles. So really, as long as you're not running something like Dark Descent, you should be fine here. Jewelry, I'm going something like Champion's Amulet, Fire Damage, Mortal Empowerment on your ring, and then anything with Refreshing Toast on the earring. Honestly, Doom's Chance is still good, and very good on this build in particular.
I need a hero. I'm holding out for a hero till the end of the night. He's gotta be strong and he's gotta be fast and he's gotta be fresh from the fight. I need a hero.
I decided to add a bit of bonus material to this build video. For those of you who don't know, there's exactly one shield in the game that includes the Rogue perk, and that's the Motherwell Wisher's Coin. At first glance, it's nothing special, but it is the only shield with Rogue, and it has Refreshing Move, and you can start to imagine some nice combinations with swords. For example, Final Waltz is extremely average, but now becomes kind of remarkable with this shield. One of the stronger combinations, I think, is the very common Sword of the Champion. Anyways, it's a nice shield to have, and it's seemingly impossible to get if you don't know how to do it. The Motherwell Wisher's Coin only drops from the Well Guardian. Yeah, remember that guy you killed like a year ago?
What year is it?
Well, the way the game is supposed to work is you can't get back inside once you've cleared the main story quest to defeat it. But, being as it's AGS, you can glitch back inside. Follow the path of rocks to the left of the door and you'll encounter this kind of spot you can prone dive into. All of this will feel weird, but we're all gamers and we've encountered something like this before in our lives. Once you're kind of jammed into this rock, open your fishing hotkey and this will cause your character to stand up and pass through a barrier. Continue around the front of the wall and you'll find a little hole that you can prone crawl through. Now you're completely glitched onto invisible terrain, so this part's kind of funky, but there is a little spot that you can jump through. It'll cause you to fall down inside. Be sure to bring a lot of blight tinctures as this area applies blight no matter where you stand. The boss is pretty easy. He spawns around 3 to 4 minutes and the shield will drop, even if you already had it like I did. I think you can expect to be here less than an hour solo. The greatsword and rapier that drop are nothing special, but still nice collectibles to have. Anyways, hope you enjoyed all the 80s nostalgia in the video. Remember, we're all trying to have a good time, but you could still roast me in the comments for being hella mediocre. I appreciate y'all watching the video. If you liked it, you may enjoy this logging for gold video I did recently, where I show you a totally terms of service legal logging bot and other methods to earn gold. As always, until next time, peace.